Hello and welcome to episode 7. Also, welcome to 2024. It's a new year. This is my first episode of the new year. How are you? Did you survive it well? Hope so. Well, today on episode 7, we'll be talking all about goals. Do you have any goals for 2024? Are there things you like to do better this year than you did in 2023? Let's talk about it. Welcome. Hello. So, as I said in the intro, welcome to another episode of Love is Your Medicine podcast. I am Mitch Wright. I hope you're doing well today. Hope you welcomed in the new year in a nice way. We spent time as a family together. I kind of introduced a new thing to my family here, my wife and kids, that my family and myself did in Georgia. We had family time every New Year's Eve. What we do is we spend time together as a family. We eat dinner, have like finger food and snacks all night, but each person would pick a movie and we'd watch movies all night long, or as long as we could all last. So we made it to about, I think it was like 3 a.m. on January 1st. But we had a nice time. Went to sleep. Then we got up late morning on January 1st and we continued watching movies into the evening. So it was relaxing. It was peaceful. It was fun. We got time to spend with each other and kind of get away from our busy, hectic lives that we live day in and day out. So it was nice and relaxing. Can't believe it is a new year, 2024. When I was young, I used to always think about, like, I was born in 1970. So first I would always think about the year 2000. And I was like, wow, I'll be 30 in 2000. And I would always tell my parents, do you know in 2020, I would be 50 years old? And they would laugh. And, it seemed so far in the future. Like, to a young kid like me, it was unbelievable. 2020, I'd be 50. Fast forward to now, we're talking 2024 already. I don't even know where 2023 went. It seemed like it was so fast, like a blur. But yeah, 2024. I'll be 54 this year. So yeah, life goes on. Don't take any of it for granted. We never know what'll happen. So do your best to be your best. That's how I always look at it. Speaking of, what are your plans for 2024? Do you think back to last year and you think about things that you wanted to do, things that you needed to do to change or improve? How did it go for you? Did you achieve everything that you set out to or that you wanted to? And I'm not saying that asking a judging way. I know it was, things that I fell short on that I wanted to do or started off with the best of intentions, but life happens, laziness happens, speaking for me, speaking honestly. So how about you? Because something I always say in different episodes is when we make plans to better ourselves, or we want to make changes, or we make goals, it's good to have a list of short-term goals and then long-term goals. And it's good to share that with someone so that they can hold you accountable. You can hold each other accountable. My wife and I, we do it for each other. We share our goals with each other, and that way we can both hold each other accountable in a nice, loving, healthy way. So yeah, start with short-term goals, things that you want to do each day, things that you want to do or change each week. Because small, consistent goals and achieving them, it works towards the bigger picture, towards achieving our long-term goals. So don't take out more than you can or want to chew. What happens when we do that? You get overwhelmed. And if you get overwhelmed, then there goes your motivation. Your motivation goes out the window. And then, you'll say, why even try? Or I'm no good at this. I'm no good at setting goals or trying to achieve them. And then you put it in neutral and you go nowhere. And that's not a good headspace to be in. There are always positive changes that we can make to make ourselves better, not only for ourselves and our self-esteem and our self-worth, but also to improve relationships, make you a better overall person. So yeah, think about some short-term goals. I know from Michelle and I, some short-term goals that we started was just waking up earlier. We had gotten into a kind of a rut or a habit last year of waking up and getting out of bed, getting our day started, like at the last possible moment that we could, without being late to carry out our obligations. And, that honestly, that gets your day started off in the wrong way. You feel rushed. You could feel overwhelmed. You forget things that you want to do or should be doing, or you cut corners to make up that time that you're losing. So yeah, both of us, we agreed, let's wake up earlier, and let's, don't use it as a time you wake up earlier so you have more time to surf the internet or play on the phone, doing kind of meaningless things on the phone. That's not what we wanted that extra time for. So, we use it for self-development. I wake up, it's this thing with my body. It's like my body clock or something. The older I get, the earlier my body just snaps out of sleep. And I'm like, it's just like, hello, wake up, time to get going. So those mornings that I wake up even before the alarm, I'll find something to read, something that I want to start my day off with on a positive note, but when we both wake up and we're waking up earlier, we set the short-term goal to try to read something that's positive as a couple, to discuss it. We have to incorporate walking into it. So we want to take walks most of the mornings. It is cold where we are now, damp and cold. Like today is cloudy, rainy, It's in the 30s. So, we don't use that to stop us. We have a treadmill in our garage, a very nice treadmill. So it's time to take things off of it so we can use it for what it's made for. So, we want to incorporate reading, walking most mornings, and then just start getting ready. I usually make her a Profi, and it's like coffee made with espresso and also a protein shake mixed in it. And that's what I make for her every morning. That gets her the amount of protein she needs. And while she's getting ready for her job, I'll make that for her. Do other things that I need to do before I start my day with my business, which is I do digital marketing online. So, I figure that gets us both in the right headspace when we decided to make those short-term goals for ourselves. And of course, we have individual short-term goals as well, and individual long-term goals. But I know for myself, I also, for 2024, I want to read more. I used to read quite a bit when I was young, but the older I get, I find myself I'm either on my phone a lot or doing other things. I even bought a book, I think it was last year, but it was like a self-improvement book dealing with self-improvement / business. I haven't even opened the cover yet. I looked at it on the shelf the other day. So I personally want and need to read more to continue my self-development. That's something I really, really need to do this year to keep that brain working. Like I said, I'll be 54, so the brain is like a muscle. You have to keep using it. So that was, one of my goals. Another goal is to keep on getting healthier. That was about like 2008, 2009. My health was very bad. I was, they classify it at the doctor's office as morbidly obese. My blood pressure was off the charts. Type 2 diabetes. The A1C high, very high. So, my doctor had a real frank conversation with me, and ever since then I've been working, to keep weight off, to keep doing what my doctor asks of me, to watch what I eat. I enjoy a nice drink now and then, beer, but, I had to limit what I have because that affects those two conditions that I have, the blood pressure and the diabetes. So, that's constantly one of my goals, to keep on watching what I'm eating, to keep being active. Like I said, I want to walk more, even though it's winter. We have a treadmill, we have weights, we have an exercise bike. So I'm sitting here looking at all this equipment now. No excuse. That should be a slogan we pick up. No excuses. Our brain likes to come up with excuses, so we coddle ourselves, make ourselves feel better. But come on, we're all adults. I'm looking around this room I'm in now, and yeah, it is no excuse for me. to not continue striving to do what I want to do, health wise. Treadmill, a bike, exercise bike, weights with the bench. So yeah, that it needs to be on my goal list to keep trying the best I can to be healthy and keep being active, because I want to be here for, a lot of years to come. And that's something that we can have relative control over if we treat the bodies we have right, how they should be treated. It can go well for us. So yeah, read more, continue the healthy lifestyle, but kick it up a notch in 2024. When it comes to business, I've set goals. For what I do, digital marketing, and I also teach and train people to do it. I need to consistently put myself out there, build my brand, because people attached to you, especially in business, you may offer a service, you may offer a product, but what really draws people in is they like you, how you carry yourself, the things you say, how ethical you are, how honest you are. So I have to put myself out there and make posts on my business social media accounts. I have to be consistent with my posting. I have to be consistent with videos. And how many of us honestly like to make videos? It's weird for me. I cannot stand to hear my voice on a recording. When I'm editing my podcast, it's awkward for me. But I put myself out there weekly because I like the conversation that we have each week in every episode. So yeah, some goals we set, we have to get outside of our comfort zone, but that's what builds character in us. If we did everything the same way, what came easy to us day in, day out, month in, month out, year after year, we wouldn't grow as a person. So, challenge yourself. Get out of your comfort zone. That's how we grow. Because guess what? That brain, just like lifting weights, like I mentioned earlier, like the brain is a muscle. When you first start a certain amount of weight, your body hurts. Your body gets sore. But then guess what? If you keep doing it, you keep the consistency and the repetition, your body gets used to it. And then what do we usually do? We up the weights. We lift more and we repeat the process. So it's the same with goals and achieving them. We get out of our comfort zone. Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable. It might hurt a little bit, but we push through, and then we see that we can do it. We see that we've achieved it. And that builds character. That builds your self-morale. You now know what you're capable of. And you know now that you're capable of even more. Because a lot of times what stops us, like I mentioned before, is what's in between our ears. Our own mind stops us from achieving things that we should be or that we can be achieving. So yeah, keep making those short-term goals, and they work towards your long-term goals too. One long-term goal that Michelle and I have is we work our businesses, our digital businesses, because eventually we want to have total financial freedom. So, we're doing things in our life that is taking away our debt. We're working towards our long-term goal of financial freedom, of working for ourselves. And then that's going to open up time freedom, because we'll be able to totally be on our own schedule, not relying on a job, a traditional 40-hour-a-week job. So, that's one of our long-term goals is total financial and time freedom. It's a whole lot of short and mid-term goals that you have to set and continually reach to reach a long-term goal such as those. So, yeah, you just have to write it down, and that's what we always do, because something isn't really real to you until you write it down. You keep seeing it. So when you come up with your goals, don't just do it in your head, because they'll just get lost. So write your goals down. And I would suggest that short term, mid-term, and long-term goals. And for every long-term goals, there has to be short and mid-term so that you can achieve those, because you're not going to make a long-term goal overnight. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes consistency. So remember those things when you set your goals. And keep in mind what I said. Don't overwhelm yourself. We all know what we can each handle. So, this isn't a competition. This isn't about biting off more than you can chew. It's about self-improvement, self-awareness, trying to make ourselves a better person. That's what it's all about. Self-love, that's part of loving ourselves, is if we keep growing as a person. We can't just be stagnant or in neutral. Life is always about making changes and achieving goals. Perhaps your goal this year is to, find another career or do something that's not taking you away from family so much. I know a lot of individuals, that's their focus, that's their goal. And they write it down they write down, what does that look like? How can I achieve this? If I want to spend more time with my family, what do I have to do? Does that mean I keep advancing in the career I'm in, learning more? Does that mean a new career altogether? Only you can answer that. So, I know another friend of ours, a long-term goal is she wants to be able to do the long marathons. So, she started doing short marathons, and she's building herself up. And, we're proud of her to see where she is now, and she's able to do it, So like I said, we all have different things that we want to accomplish. Don't hold yourself back. If it's something that you've been wanting to do, make goals to do it. Right now is good, and I felt it was a good time that I talk about this in this episode, the first episode of the year, because it is the beginning of the year. You know, what better opportunity to start setting and chasing goals than now? Because in another part of my life, I've been taught this phrase over and over, because it goes like this. You start early in the year, early in the month, early in the week, early in the day. So sometimes we like to push things off. Well, you know, I'll get to it tomorrow. I'll start doing that next week or next month, because those weeks and months add up. And then you're talking about, oh, it's November, it's December. I'll just do it next year. So why not have that mentality? Whatever you want to do, start early in the year, start early in the month, start early in the week, start early in the day. You know, that's what we're going to focus on. No excuses, and early. So don't put anything off. You know, sometimes, you know, you have to. You might be sick or something like that, but I'm talking on a normal day. Don't let complacency or laziness take over. Just start tackling everything early. Get it out of the way. And that's what I always like to do. Some people like to do easy things first, save the hard stuff for last. That's, you know, if that's you, fine. I know some people say they work better under pressure. You know, that's how they roll through life. For me, I'm the total opposite. You know, if I have a group of tasks in front of me, I'll pick out the hardest and work my way down the list so that it gets easier. I just like to get the hard stuff out of the way. You know, I don't want to, that's just how I am. I don't like to do things when I know something harder is coming up later. I just get hard or challenging situations out of the way. You know, so what type of person are you? Are you like me and get the long or hard or tedious things out of the way first? Or do you get the easy things out of the way first? You know, I like to hear your thoughts on that. But yeah, whatever we do, whatever goals you set, write them down. Map out a plan for what you're going to do, how you're going to reach those goals. No excuses, and early. Those are the two phrases we're going to remember for 2024. You know, make this a year of self-development. You know, that's what I'm going to continue to do. Like I said, read more to develop myself more. Because when I had a regular job, sometimes training is, it was regular. You got trained, either once a year or a couple times a year, every quarter, depending on the job. We got trained to develop ourselves. But now, me being self-employed, that's what I really thought about. I lost that aspect of my life of development. Because companies do it. They're investing in you so that you can become a better person. Why? Because it, in the long run, it helps the company out. So I reason with myself, I have to treat myself that way. I work for myself, but why did I stop self-development? And as I do it, I may find out lacking that, hurt my business, so I'm excited to continue reading, self-development, trying to be better. What do we always say here at Love is Your Medicine? Day by day. And we try to make each day better than we were the day before. So that has a lot to do with goals as well. If we were consistent and working hard at our goals, you might have an off day one day. Put it behind you. Each day is a new chance to make the previous day better. So as we go throughout this year, it is January 4th, early in the year. So, as we continue throughout this year, have that mindset. I'm huge on mindset, because if you have a negative mindset, guess what you're going to have? More than likely, you're going to have a negative life. Now, things are going to happen. That's not meaning you're going to have just this bright, sunshiny day each and every day. No, things happen. Life happens. But if you keep a positive mindset, you're not going to get stuck on negativity. If you keep a positive mindset, it's going to keep you motivated to continue reaching your short-term goals, your mid-term goals, and your long-term goals. If you have a positive mindset. If you have a positive mindset, it's going to be hard to stop yourself. Even if you have something negative happen, or if you have a bad day, if you try your best to keep your mindset positive, it's going to reflect in your life, and it's going to reflect on what you're doing to reach your goals. So yeah, remember those things. Positive mindset. But we're not going to give up. And we're going to do things early. In other words, get things achieved as quickly as we can. We're not going to loiter on our business. So I'm going to commit to that for this year. Well, what about you? I would enjoy hearing from you. Leave a comment on whatever platform you're listening to this on. Email me, mitch@themitchwright.com. Visit one of my social media outlets, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Love is Your Medicine podcast is the handle on all of those. I would enjoy hearing from you. I like feedback. I like learning about my different listeners. By the way, thank you for listening. I can watch the stats, different aspects of the podcast, and I appreciate all of my listeners. Various locations in the United States, but what really surprised me is I have a few consistent listeners in Brussels and also Germany and the UK. So to those listeners, thank you. I hope that you find value in my open and honest podcast. I look forward to hearing from some of you very soon. So, yeah, just stay positive. Keep a positive mindset as we start off 2024. Do your best to be your best. It is so much negativity in the world, especially social media. It seems like most people on social media just wake up and choose to be negative and choose to make petty comments and remarks about and to people that in real life they wouldn't dare say any of that, but being behind a keyboard empowers some people in a negative way. So, be careful on social media. It can really drain your positivity and your mindset. So, do what you can to keep a positive mindset so that you can be the best you can, not only for yourself, but everyone around you. I want to see everyone thrive and flourish this year. So, yes, stay positive, have a positive mindset, write those goals down. Don't get to it tomorrow. Do it as soon as you can. Write them down, map out a plan. Once you do that, don't put the notebook on the shelf and leave it, but put it to work. Put in that work to be a better version of yourself each and every day this year. So enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your day. Be positive. It'll not only help you, but it'll help those around you, those that you care about and love. Love yourself. Love is your medicine. Never forget that. Never lose sight of that. Now go and do great things.